Are you frequently in a state of fatigue? It might surprise you to learn that your cellular health begins to decline as early as 25 years of age. As you get older, your cell membranes start to become like Swiss cheese. The cellular damage is the primary cause of biological aging and could be the root of your fatigue. But there's a breakthrough supplement that's scientifically proven to repair and renew your body's cells. NT-factor lipids. NT-factor lipids are identical to the phospholipids found in your cellular membranes. NT-factor is the only solution proven and published in medical journals to repair those dead spots in the membranes. I've been using NT-factor for years. I don't go a day without it. NT-factor lipids comes in an easy-to-use powder in 2 convenient sizes. For more information and to order, just call 800-982-9158, 800-982-9158, or go to ntfactor.com. That's ntfactor.com for NT-factor lipids powder. Welcome to today's Intelligent Medicine Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Ronald Hoffman. It's my favorite time of the week because I get a chance to answer your questions alongside Leyla Muden, who is our resident nutritionist. And the way to get questions to us is via questions@drhoffman.net, the usual way to send emails to us. And we got a full mailbag today we're going to address. How you doing, Leyla?
Okay, Dr. Hoffman. How are you?
Good. It's
daylight savings time ended.
Daylight savings time ended. It's a little strange. I still feel a little jet lagged. I can't get used to it.
It's dark in the morning again.
Yeah, it's dark in the morning again, which I don't like.
I don't either.
It's nice to have all that daylight.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's a lot of controversy about it, whether it should be abolished. But
and they have that conversation every year, and yet
they don't do anything
not abolished.
Yeah. Well, it's like, depends on if you're a morning person or if you're an evening person. It's like 2 different types of people. Weather's getting nicer.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a tease because March has a way of being unpredictable. It can be very cold and chilly, and the wind is coming from everywhere. Or like today, warm morning, which tempted me to take a morning run. Early in the morning before coming to the office. And it was just really delightful. I don't know what my time horizon is on running because I'm in my 70s now. And I'm not sure if I'll be running a heck of a lot in my 80s, but I still enjoy it. It's still, just a great feeling of freedom to just lace on some sneakers. And
especially
just
on
go.
a nice day and the wind is calm.
And when you get the earbuds in with the right playlist.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very key.
Make you go.
So it gives you really feeling like, I feel like
absolutely.
I feel like a healthy horse galloping, So anyway, want to talk before we get to questions about, we talk a lot about this, but this is actually a practical solution. GLP-1 agonists. So I write in my newsletter article this week, not only do we have Ozempic and Rybelsus and Wegovy and Mounjaro and Zepbound, which is the same thing. Mounjaro, Zepbound. Zepbound has an authorization for weight loss, and Mounjaro is an authorization for just diabetes. So it's just a way of getting around that regulation. They're coming up with ever more powerful drugs. They're going to come up with drugs that are based on amylin, which is a hormone made in the liver. A hormone made in the pancreas. They're also going to come up with triple action drugs, and they're going to come up with an oral Ozempic, so you won't have to inject it. So that they're making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
But they want to keep that pipeline vibrant because Novo Nordisk just surpassed Tesla as a stock in terms of overall valuation.
Wow.
So the price of Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly more than tripled. Call your broker. There's a combined valuation of more than $1 trillion.
Oh, my goodness.
So, but there's some problems around this. There's a question about the sustainability of this because, check this out. 1/2 of U.S. adults are interested in taking a prescription weight loss drug, according to a survey. 1/2. 93 million Americans meet GLP-1 weight loss eligibility criteria.
Mm-hmm.
The cost is $12,000 to $16,000 per year. Even with the
That's a mortgage.
I know, even with a maximum discount, costs will likely exceed $6,500. You can get coupons, you can get incentives, you can get bootleg stuff, but bootleg stuff is unreliable, and there's toxins and so it was
fentanyl.
There could be bacterial contamination. Who knows?
Sure.
So they did a little cost estimate. If all eligible U.S. adults receive GLP-1 agonists at discounts, this is assuming they all get discounts,
mm-hmm.
the annual cost would be $600 billion. That is equal to all other U.S. prescription drug spending combined.
They hit the jackpot.
So
Big Pharma, they hit the jackpot.
So what they're saying is $600 billion we already spent on all the other drugs.
Mm-hmm.
We just added another 600. We just doubled drug costs in America. So now you may say, well, they'll go generic. But no.
Not for a few years.
Each GLP-1, they were very clever. They locked up these drugs as far as 2040 and beyond, because each drug has approximately 20 patents on it. And the patents won't expire for a long time. So these prices will be sustained.
Wow.
And generic competitors won't easily enter. So they say that, even like you see this with these statin drugs. For example, Lipitor
mm-hmm.
is generic now, but they've got even more powerful, really expensive drugs like the PCSK9 drugs and a whole raft of new drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So they're thinking ahead. It's like, if the price goes down, we're going to have even more powerful, drugs. So, guy named Dr. Darius Mozaffarian, who is the John Mayer Professor of Nutrition. John Mayer is like a nutrition pioneer at Tufts. He is the kind of head of nutrition department at Tufts, has written an article, hopefully will be influential. It's in Journal of the American Medical Association.
Mm-hmm.
It's an editorial, an opinion piece. So what he says is that the weight loss plateaus by 12 to 18 months with these drugs. It's generally acknowledged that the benefits are going to max out. So what you're going to get, if you take them any longer, is just maintenance.
Okay.
And if the drug is stopped, people generally regain most, if not all, of their weight. And a lot of people won't be able to afford it. And, oh, by the way, only 27% of patients prescribed GLP-1 agonists were adherent after 1 year. They find that the nausea or the GI side effects are intolerable, or they can't sustain the price, or they just can't sustain like eating that way. It's like, going to a restaurant and
no more joy.
Because I went to a restaurant with a guy he's like a big eater. He was overweight. He finally decided he's going to take Ozempic, actually Manjaro. And now it's no fun to go to the restaurant anymore with him, because he just pushes the food around on his plate.
Like the supermodel that he is.
And I said to him, you're not going to leave that chicken on the plate. Like, you just had a couple of bites of that. I said, get a doggy bag.
Yeah.
You're going to have that for breakfast. He goes, oh, I don't want to buy it. I said, come on. That was like $40.
Yeah, you paid for that. Take it home.
Take So people may not want to stay on these meds forever. So what this guy is proposing, and this is a little bit, how we view things here, is he's calling for a food as medicine approach to combining GLP-1 therapy with lifestyle. In other words, anyone who's enrolled in taking these medications should get an intensive lifestyle approach, which teaches them about a proper diet, which encourages them on exercise.
This was also proposed at the Integrative Healthcare Symposium about signing a contract, having the patient sign a contract.
It's great minds think alike.
Yeah.
And I think that may be our way of getting out of this jam, because, we're already in a healthcare crisis in terms of financing our healthcare system.
True.
And,
it's imploding as we speak.
And also it's a matter of equity. It's like, just rich people are going to be able to get this?
Yeah, it's expensive stuff.
So in other words, it will, in the future, being thin will be a sign that you're wealthy, and being fat will be a sign that you're too poor to get medication. And that's really discriminatory.
It is very discriminatory. And the whole downfall of this, just like very low calorie, low fat dieting, you're losing your lean body mass, your muscle. And your muscle is the metabolic machinery that torches calories.
Right. And that's why we have to counsel people to get adequate protein. Yeah. And that's why we have to counsel people to do resistance exercise while they're losing weight.
Yeah. They're not going to get adequate protein because they're not hungry anymore. Actually, they're nauseated. They have no appetite. They're not going to get adequate protein. They're going to lose their muscle. And they're going to then regain most of the weight that they lose once they plateau and get off the medication.
And by the way, this includes recommendations around sleep habits, because sleep habits have a big impact on weight gain.
Absolutely.
And so, look, it might be an opportunity for a teachable moment, but only if we really condition the prescribing of these medications on, you got to be all in. You need an all of the above approach. We're going to give you these medications, but you need to see the nutritionist. You need to see the health coach. You need to see the lifestyle counselor.
Exactly.
And you need to...
you need regular follow-up with them.
And we can do it via apps. We can do it...
to keep you accountable.
Yeah.
That you're going towards your goal.
Right.
Right?
Because at 12 to 18 months, we're going to have to pull the plug on it, because if insurance is going to cover it, it's not going to cover it for a lifetime. It can't.
No.
No. And by the way, I do subscribe to the notion that some people are earnestly trying to lose weight, and they're just stuck. And these medications have utility. And certainly in the case of diabetes, they have, and we have a wonderful example of this. We have a patient who came in with blood sugar, like massively elevated, like a hemoglobin A1C of like 10. I think the patient. He lives in Boston.
Yes.
And he is an example of someone who's embraced an all of the above approach. He has diabetes. He was overweight. He also was suffering from extreme exhaustion and fatigue. He had what he termed chronic fatigue syndrome. Well, he was started on diabetes medication, and he was started on, I believe he's on Mounjaro, and he's lost a lot of weight, but he also is engaged in martial arts.
Yes.
He's following a diet scrupulously. He's taking supplements, and he is totally transformed. He's, blood sugar is normalized. He's super energetic. He has embraced his martial arts. He just loves it. It's a great, counter to the stress that he experiences as a professional. And, it's also an opportunity for social interaction. Yeah. And so, he's had a really transformative experience, and he's just not sticking a needle in his leg or in his arm,
Yeah. Yeah. Really is something. And what's interesting is this is almost like an extension of bariatric surgery.
Yep.
Where you're forced. You cannot eat more than, say, 500, 800 calories a day, whatever that may be, or a small portion at a time. Or you will be sick, you will throw up.
Yep.
Same thing with these GLP-1 agonists. If you go too far, you're going to suffer the consequences. It's a forced gastroparesis.
It's like antabuse for alcoholics.
Yes.
It's like antabuse when you take it and you drink, you feel like you've been kicked by a mule.
Yeah.
It's just,
So
you have I have mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings about it too. I mean, look, we don't know what's going to happen. It could be like this is a great boon to mankind, and it's going to, really reduce disease. But it could also bankrupt our healthcare system, make a lot of people dependent on medications. Ultimately, there could be side effects that emerge from like 5, 10, 20 years use of these things.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I'm sure glad that I personally don't have this health challenge, that I don't have to embrace this. I'm glad it's an option for some people. We in our nutrition practice, and I know that you already have patients who are taking these things, and you are adjusting your nutritional approach to factor that in. But it's not like you're going to be unemployed because of these things.
No.
There is a role for a guided
Exactly.
nutrition program while people take these meds.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's almost like you get this period of time while you're taking these medications to adjust your life.
It's a reset. It's a reset.
It's a reset.
Yeah.
And it forces you to create new habits because you're not going to have an appetite.
Yeah.
which is the trick and the gift of
Yeah.
these medications. So there you go. Okay.
Well, the biggest concern is, the show The Biggest Loser, sensational weight loss. And then they studied these people. They actually did a paper on it. I think it was in the New England Journal of Medicine and they brought them in afterwards. These people with sensational weight loss, 80, 100, 120 pounds, and all but one had regained all of their weight and sometimes more. Only one was an outlier and managed to sustain it. And that is because
I think that person was on a ketogenic diet.
Yeah, and that's because the people may have not changed their eating habits, but also they had a set point that called them back to their previous weight.
Yeah.
That recognized the caloric restriction as starvation and made them put the feed bag on because this is nature's way of
making sure you survive
the next famine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's like
you can't fool Mother Nature.
Right.
That's why low calorie dieting is terrible.
And actually, while we're on it, and I don't want to go too long on this because we have questions.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that among animals in the animal kingdom, if you look at our closest relatives, if you look at most primates, gorillas, chimpanzees, they have a hard time becoming obese because they don't have the ability to store fat as efficiently as humans.
Yeah.
They can get flabby because they don't get enough exercise, because in the wild they get much more exercise.
Yeah.
But they don't store fat as well. And that's actually maybe one of the keys to the survival of humans as a apex predator and the top of the food chain, is that
our ability to
we have this ability, it's actually an ability to withstand periods of deprivation and starvation. However, in the modern world, that is biting us back, because the new statistic is, in terms of malnutrition, there's a new definition of malnutrition. It's not starvation. It's malnutrition. That just means bad. It doesn't mean, it doesn't assign a value in terms of too much, too little. There is more malnutrition associated with obesity than there is, for the first time in human history, than with starvation. Now, there's hundreds of millions of people subject to starvation, but there's 1 billion people who are obese in the world now.
Yeah.
And it's increasing.
When you're eating empty calories, you are indeed malnourished, even though you are overweight and obese. So you're not getting the required nutrients.
Yeah, exactly.
And that also keeps us hungry.
It is.
We're not getting the right nutrition.
Bad nutrition.
Yeah.
Malnutrition.
Malnutrition. Right.
So anyway, I don't want to belabor that, but I just think, I want to reinforce that point. So actually, I did talk about that in my newsletter article this week, plus a lot of interesting other stories, like the man who got 217 COVID shots.
Oh,
he was a German man in Magdeburg.
Wow.
They're studying him. They say he's fine so far.
So far.
So far, so
Why
good.
would anyone do that to themselves?
I think he probably suffers from obsessive compulsive disorder.
I can't believe that he was allowed to go and do that.
Yeah, I know. Because when you get a COVID shot, usually they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't get one yet. You're not eligible yet."
Right.
It's like got to be 3 months or something.
Yes.
Or maybe they just, in the chaos of, you go to one place and then to another and, just roll up your arm and say, "I'm ready."
Yeah.
And they go, "Okay." They're just loosey-goosey about the regs. They don't keep track anymore. He was in Germany.
Unbelievable.
So,
Unbelievable. I can't believe that was allowed to happen, but there we are. Here we are. Or there they go in Germany.
Well, you can't be too careful. You can't be too careful.
But I want to know how many masks he still wears.
He wears 17 masks. He's got 217 COVID shots. He lives like a hermit. No, I don't know.
How much hand sanitizer does he go through? Should we buy stock in it? In a Purell or whatever
No, that's
it is?
true. I want to see this guy interviewed on TV.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, German news station somewhere.
Oh, he would be a great feature for 60 Minutes.
My goodness.
Now, more than ever, it is important to have a healthy immune system. Many health professionals agree that probiotics are a leading natural therapy for boosting immune health. Why? Because 70% of your body's immune cells reside in the GI tract. By taking a superior probiotic daily, like Dr. Ohhira's probiotics, you can enhance your overall immune system and immune response. The key to Dr. Ohhira's success is the 500 plus postbiotic metabolites that are in each capsule. Postbiotic metabolites are important to the regulation of most systems in our body. For a short-term immune boost, try Dr. Ohhira's Propolis Plus. Merging nature and science, Dr. Ohhira's Propolis Plus combines Brazilian green propolis, vitamin E, astaxanthin, and tocotrienols for additional and powerful immune support. Be proactive about your immune health. Ask your retailer today about Dr. Ohhira's probiotics and Dr. Ohhira's Propolis Plus today. Also available online.
Questions?
We have questions. Yeah, we've got a question from Abby. During the Passover holiday, which is coming up.
I think it's in April. Late April is here.
Late April.
It's weird because it seems like later this year than usual. Sometimes it's
Doesn't
early.
it move?
It does. It's a lunar calendar.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
During the Passover holiday, I will need to eat matzah. Is handmade...
What, we do, two questions.
Yeah.
Why do you need to eat matzah? So the question is, it is part of the ritual.
Yeah.
You got to eat matzah.
Yeah.
So even like it's actually prescribed that you eat a certain amount of matzah and, know, that you have to have it different ways. And, it's part of the Seder.
Yeah.
They tell you now it's time to break the matzah and, put some, this kind of bitter spread on it, or, like apples and honey. And it's very, it's like part of it.
Apples
then
and honey,
the kids have to, find the matzah. It's like the
Easter egg?
Yeah.
Find the matzah?
You have to find the matzah, and it's like
that
finding the Easter egg. It's a thing. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was adopted, from the Jewish tradition as they just substitute Easter eggs for matzah. Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right. So I will need to eat matzah, says Abby. Is handmade spelt matzah a better alternative to the traditional wheat matzah? Also, and spelt is ancient wheat.
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily getting away from wheat, Abby, if that's what you were trying to do.
If you're celiac disease,
sure,
it's no good.
It's no good. It's no good.
If you're a little bit wheat intolerant,
then
maybe it's a little better.
At least for the holiday.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, in terms of wine, I was
just going to say,
yeah,
there is such a thing as gluten-free matzah.
Sure.
It does. I tasted it. It's not that good, but it is
but
acceptable.
It's gluten-free, yeah.
And it's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? If part of a religious ritual and you have to eat it,
there you go.
It's like
there's your substitute.
But you got no alternatives. It's like you got to have it.
Right.
Like instead of like $4 a box, it's like $23 a box. I don't know.
Just for the holiday, you don't need to buy that much of it.
Exactly.
So it's all right.
I always end up with like extra matzah, and then I don't know what to do with it because it's not that good for you. It's basically refined white flour.
Right.
And it tastes yummy.
Yeah. But, okay.
It's just
something to keep in the cupboard till the next time you want some.
But then it gets stale.
Then it gets stale. Then you throw it out. Okay.
I've thrown a lot of matzah in my career.
Okay. Also, in terms of wine, is dry red a better alternative to sweet wine or grape juice?
Well, I think dry wine implies it's got a less sugar.
Yeah.
Boy, I got to tell you that the ceremonial wine that they use for Passover,
I've tasted it.
It's like,
whoa,
it is so sugar laden.
Yeah.
But that's the old fashioned kind. It's like the Manischewitz one.
Right.
But they make some very good Passover wines that are like high quality French wines now. But there's this thing. Part of the ritual is you're supposed to have 4 toasts, 4 kiddishes or toast the wine. Mm-hmm. And one time I went to a Seder. It was at a synagogue, and because we didn't have any relatives who were putting it on locally, and I took it very literally. It was like, okay, fill your glass and and drink them. And they had this really syrupy Manischewitz.
Okay.
And I did 4 glasses of it. And
did you need a nap after that?
I don't know whether I don't think the alcohol was what put me under the lilies.
Yeah.
It was, I had like
sugar.
I was in like sugar shock from that. It was like the kind of thing they give you for a glucose tolerance test.
Yes, that syrupy stuff. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So I guess dry is better because it implies less sugar.
Right? Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I could think of a handful of patients of mine who, when they celebrate Shabbos, they will opt for the Cabernet rather than the jammier, fruitier version of the wine.
Now the kids get grape juice.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Unless you're in France.
Believe me, I lived with a French family for a while, and there was like kids like 10, 11, 12, and they got for lunch
a little bit of wine,
which was the thing. You sat down with a family for lunch. Kids would come home from school, have lunch, and then go back to school. They would have like a diluted wine, like a little wine.
A little wine. Wow. One last general question that doesn't pertain to Passover. Are bread products that are made of Einkorn flour or Einkorn flour acceptable on the diet? Einkorn was the ancient wheat, which apparently was a little less problematic, than what the wheat crop is.
The current wheat is actually bred to have a higher gluten content because gluten has the properties of being sort of chewy and has good
soft,
mouthfeel and
gluten-ish.
Gluten. Yeah. So the Einkorn is probably drier and less yummy, less desserty.
Right.
But
was more popular maybe more than 100 years ago or so, and maybe it was less
think it's something from like Assyria and Babylonia, and that kind of. It's the Ur wheat, like the progenitor, like corn. Corn. If you look at the Incas, they used a lot of corn, but they're inky things. They were like 3-4 inches long.
Right.
And they weren't like big succulent kernels that were GMO like we have now.
Right. And then all the wheat here that's sprayed with glyphosate, unless you're getting, okay.
But for just a warning, if you have celiac disease, you should not eat Einkorn.
Absolutely not. Not any kind of wheat. Ancient, modern day, baby wheat, spelt, whatever category we're putting the wheat in.
Couscous, bulgur.
Couscous. People think couscous is something different.
It's like a different grain. Like a different grain.
It's pasta.
It's just in the shape.
Shape. Yeah. People don't realize it's actually pasta. Okay. Abby, there you go. So hopefully that readies you for the Passover holiday. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I brought this one to the front of the line. This is from Joe. I heard your podcast from March 10th, last week. You talked of liver support for alcoholic issues. I believe you used the term NAC, K-N-A-C-K, and a vitamin supplement as well. Would you please identify these supplements? Joe, NAC is NAC.
Right.
That's the acronym for N-acetylcysteine, which helps to detoxify liver. It's the precursor to glutathione, our master detoxification hormone.
Not to be confused with the NAC, which is a band, which is a one-hit wonder responsible for the song
My Sharona.
My Sharona.
Yeah. So any others besides NAC for liver health? Alpha lipoic acid, phosphatidylcholine.
Even SAMI. Betaine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also milk thistle.
For patients who have fatty liver, there are some studies on vitamin E as well.
Oh, wow.
And in fact, there was actually because they're looking for a drug for fatty liver, because that would be a blockbuster drug.
It would be.
20% of Americans have fatty liver, more or less. Mm-hmm. And, can you imagine the sales on that drug if it worked? They can't find a drug that exceeds the benefits of vitamin E at a dose of 400 or 800 per day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I would use like a mixed tocopherol, tocotrienol combo.
Right. Yeah. Not just the alpha tocopherol, which on its own can be dangerous. That's why we need the mixed, the matrix.
Blocks the other components.
The others.
Because I believe there are 4 tocopherols and 4 tocotrienols. Mm-hmm. And so just to use one is like using just beta carotene instead of mixed carotenoids.
Yeah. Okay. Joe, there you go.
Good point at which to pause, because our listeners know we divide our podcast into 2 parts. So questions at drhoffman.net, where you send the questions, a reminder, and give us a preview of what we're going to tackle in part 2, Leyla.
I was diagnosed with EPI and prescribed Creon, which is incredibly expensive.
Oh, okay. We can look that up and find out. So when we return, those questions and more. A reminder that you can shop hundreds of curated vetted supplements in my full script dispensary, drhoffmanstore.com. And I usually had a conversation with one of our favorite guests, Neil Levin, and his company is conducting kind of a survey of some products that are available on Amazon. And recently they looked at creatine gummies, and the vast majority of them either had no or very little creatine in them. So, you've got to be careful how you shop. Amazon has some good stuff, but it also doesn't have a lot of quality controls. FullScript has quality controls in place.
Yeah.
So go to drhoffmanstore.com for your supplement needs.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. When we return, more of today's Intelligent Medicine podcast. I'm Dr. Ronald Hoffman today with Leyla Mutin.